coverage here. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Griffin to throw. And got a man. It's Woods. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Look at this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. And some room to roam now. Past the 20, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 6. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. And following the picks, now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And getting a look at the Wildcat here.
Come on, let's go!
On the direct snap, this is Gurley. Now Dunbar. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Second down following the run. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. This time, Griffin will throw. Forced out to his left. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Well, the coaches mentioned they weren't as concerned about big play offense. They thought they could get some shorter, quicker stuff and be consistent. And that's kind of what they showed there.
What they saw in preparation, what they saw on film, is a defense that likes to get out fast in terms of coverage, meaning they either bail out or they give them a lot of space to throw the underneath stuff, so they decide they take advantage of it and worked on it hard in practice this week.
No gain on the play there, second down. Now Griffin on second down, and they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Griffin keeps it.
One of the hallmarks of their success this year, they've been fearless on fourth down. And they convert another one right here to move the chains.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. On first down, it's Gurley. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through. And that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. So 1 yard to go here on 3rd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. And Zerline's kick is good. Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. The 20. And he takes it all the way, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
Here's Hoyer. And he's got Gregg here, the tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn: find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. So the play clock's running down. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. First down, a run with Hyde. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. Maurice Alexander making the stop defensively.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Hoyer. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
That was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. So the offense has it 1st and 10. And back to the ground. Hyde. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator is relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to stop him on that run.
Now Hoyer. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And that hits the right upright but goes in anyway. Oh, friendly bounce there that could have gone either way easily, but he gets it to go. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. RG3 outside of the pocket. You know that's where he can be really dangerous with the feet or here the arm.
And that scares defenses in a big way because his ability to break ranks and still make big throws or, as you suggested, take off and go. How do you defend that when he's on his game?
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 3rd and long. It's Griffin surveying the field. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
1 receiver left, and Griffin must have seen something he didn't like. He's going to call a timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the Rams call on Johnny Hekker here to punt it away on fourth down. This is taken around the 12. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we send you across the country to Orlando. Standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Second down now after the incompletion. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They come up in an offset eye. Now Griffin down around his goal line. And he's got this complete to his fullback, Harkey. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And it's fielded at the 34. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And the ball's out. Hyde fumbled it. Look at the big man rumble. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they forced the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. Marshall now, the return. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now the 49er offense ready to go and getting back out onto the field. They'll try to fire up the running game with Hyde. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Again, it's Hyde. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll throw on 1st down with Griffin. Flushed out right. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And still for me, with the injuries, every time he carries that football, you just kind of hold your breath, don't you?
You have to, because you noted it. The injuries in the past have derailed his career up until this point.
And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Rams have taken the lead. Zerline now for the PAT. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Marshall now, the return. And they finally get to him, but not before he's past the 45 to the 46-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll drop to throw. Over the middle to Garcon. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Here's Hoyer. He's got his man on the crossing route. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Hoyer. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Now Hoyer. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
After the interception, here's Griffin. Flush to his right. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley, 83 yards. And the Rams add on to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Marshall now, the return. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Back now in Los Angeles. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Hyde, the lone man in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Out to the flat for Hyde. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He dumps it to Hyde, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Back to throw here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Here's Hoyer. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he'll take this one only. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 3rd down, Griffin escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Johnny Hecker now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded at the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Hoyer. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. Now Hoyer. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense, so you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they show to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Let's go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. Now the Rams offense, they worked their way back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Right, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come out in the pistol. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And nowhere really to go. And the 49ers going to take another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. Griffin now to throw on 3rd down. Throwing right, and that's complete.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for them, too.
The one running back is Gurley. Oh, Griffin's going to throw. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On the handoff, it's Gurley. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Off the play fake. Here's Griffin. He's got time. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A good pickup there. 26 yards in the red zone this time.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Bleedy Ray Wilson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. And it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit in the first and incompletion.
Here's Hoyer. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is dropped in incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone. As time has run out on this ball game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Los Angeles, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Rams are victorious here as we say so long from Exposition Park in L.A.